guys, Libby here. Welcome back to the channel. Another day, another grocery haul. I went to both Woolworths and Aldi today, although I'm using my Woolworths bag, so it might be a little bit deceptive. We're going to do a little bit different. I'm just going to pull things out and show you what I got, kind of do a little explanation for it. I have a couple of things in here that are not things I would usually buy, and I have a specific reason for that, and I'll explain that as we go along, but let's just get cracking. I'm just going to do them in whatever order I picked them up. I've got quite a few things here. I am pretty sure I kept in budget though, so I don't feel like I went crazy with everything. Good to know that I've got everything that I need, I think, for the week. I'll be honest, I went by vibes more than I went by a list, but I had a general idea of what I needed, so I'm going to show you what I got. First off, these soft hamburger rolls from Woolworths. I really like just getting rolls from there. I know I could make them, but sometimes that convenience is just... it's just really nice to have. So I've picked that one up. Woolworths also have a specials, like little shelving thing that gets moved around, and it has all their baked goods that are marked down. I like to look because often there'll be dairy-free things. So I have these plant-based brioche buns. So I'm gonna make some hamburgers, which I think is gonna be delicious. Also from that rack, I picked up these croissants. I mean, just under $2 for some nice croissants. I don't think that's bad. This is also really good to freeze. All of these baked goods freeze really well, so make sure that you're investigating that area if you've got it at Woolworths. Also got some milk chocolate bits. We got a lot of bacon coming up. Aldi are expensive. They've bumped up their price. I know that there's a cocoa shortage, but it's still a pain. I also checked at Woolworths to see if there was any specials. Now they had their smaller packs on special, but if you check the per 100 grams, the value pack was still a better price. So I picked up one of those. Salmon. This is such an indulgence for me, getting some smoked Tassie salmon. This was better price per 100 grams, per kilo, I guess is what I was basing it off of. That's something to check out because I know that I think it's like 63 is kind of like the lowest, but that was, I think, I want to say like 50 to 40 per kilo, which is great. Another special that I spotted were these Kumatos. You guys know I love these Kumatos. I've got some hamburgers I want to do, some sandwiches I want to do, salads. These will work perfect. Avocados. I did not do small avocados like the Odd Bunch this time because I didn't think they looked particularly appetizing. I don't care about shape, I don't really care about size, but I do care about the quality of the produce, and it looks like all of the produce there, at least at my Woolworths, was probably a little bit past its prime, or all of them were ripe at the same time. We just can't get through that many avocados, so I picked up just the 5-pack, which is still a good price. Now for those hamburgers, this might seem weird to anybody who's not Australian. Kangaroo. The kangaroo mince is my absolute favorite mince to pick up from Woolworths. I do love a beef. I don't mind a chicken. Even though I love turkey, I'm not a huge fan of turkey mince sometimes, but kangaroo always hits the spot. So I will make the burgers from this. And that will be tonight's dinner. My son also spotted in the bakery area that they've got the cheese and bacon rolls, and he was like, we should get some of them, but they're so expensive. And so I said, why don't we try and make them? He's like, we don't have bacon. So we've got no excuse. We've got some shortcut bacon that I've picked up here, and we will give that a shot to make. And also, because it's Christmas, I picked up these Christmas sprinkles. Now I'm pretty sure I have Christmas sprinkles, but I really wanted to pick these ones up because, and I'll show you from the Aldi what I picked up, I want to give something else a shot. All right, let's get to the next bag. This is an Aldi bag, so I picked up the wholemeal loaf. I really like this one. I feel like it's fresher, this bread, and it's gonna go straight into the fridge. I also picked up some more sprinkles, but these are not Christmas specific ones. They have these really cool confetti ones that I really liked. I'm a big fan of sprinkles. I picked them up for a whole bunch of different things. I use them throughout the year. These are perfect for decorating cakes, and I've got plenty of birthdays coming up next year, so definitely picked up that. Now this is the thing that I bought that I usually would not buy, and I've bought it specifically, and I'll explain a little bit, but these are the Mr. Brownies, chocolate brownies, but they're Christmas editions. Now, I spent just under $6 for these, and it says on there, 200 grams of it, there's 8 of these small bars. You can microwave it, or you can just eat it straight. They've got some Christmas sprinkles on it, but I wanna know, how much of a difference does it make if you make it from home? A, for taste, but for price as well. I feel like price, I would save a lot if I made it myself, but I want to see if it's better, because something like this is perfect for when you're doing like kids' Christmas little parties that they have going on. There's like a million that are coming up. So rather than buy them, which, you know, you still could buy them, I want to see if I can make it quicker, easier, and without much hassle. They don't contain dairy though, these ones, to cut them some slack. They don't, so it means something my husband can have too, but we're gonna try, which is why I bought those Christmas sprinkles. Also, I picked up wheat biscuits, Wheat Bix knockoff. I love it, it's just easy to have. And once baby girl starts eating, it's probably gonna be one of her staples, because Wheat Bix is just the easiest thing to feed your kid. We went out the other day and we saw like a Chinese shop that was selling their food. They were closing up, so they were really cheap, and they gave us a free corn soup, and my son loved it. So I picked up some creamed corn. Not that I'm planning on making soup, it's so hot, but I've got it for when I'm ready, because every time I go to make it, I never have any creamed corn. And I also picked up these spaghettis because the other night I had to go out and my husband was in charge of dinner, and it was just so easy for me to pull out that and say, cook this. And the boys loved it, they had fun, they thought it was really fun because it was a dad's special thing. My husband can cook, but when I give something last minute like that, it's just really easy to do that way. I picked up some ground garlic because I was out. These ropes to fit into our snack drawer were looking a little bit low, not as low as we did the other week. So I did pick up another oat bar. This is some choc chip ones. These will go really nice in lunch boxes, as will the peaches in mango flavored jelly. And I know I said that I would probably make them, and I will, but I used a bunch of jelly in a trifle, so, you know, we might leave the jelly for just a little bit longer. I'm gonna pack this away and then I'll grab the next bag. I should have done this one first, it's all the cold stuff, but we have ham. I didn't look actually at the Woolworths deli, I forgot to do that. That's common for me. We picked up some frozen prawns. The raw ones, I think $30 or $29 a kilo for if it still has tail on but it's cooked, but otherwise raw is a cheaper price, like $26 a kilo. And that's at Aldi. So I had a look and saw all the Christmas stuff, and I might give some of that stuff a try, but until it gets closer to December, which is my personal preference for celebrating and getting into the Christmas spirit, we can eat the raw frozen ones. This is definitely a meat indulgence. This is the jalapeno and cheese croquettes. I know, I bought jalapenos and I have mozzarella cheese specifically to make these, but looking for a bit of convenience right now because I've just been extra tired. So, you know, something about a newborn. Our A2 milk, I like the A2 because I've been saving money and focusing on the things that I really like quality-wise. I will pick up the A2 even though it's a little bit more expensive. Now, kind of a staple in our house right now, the Yokonut. This is the dairy-free one from Aldi, and also these Kenny's one. I don't know about you, but I could smash this in one sitting. I don't, but if I did, I don't feel bad about it too. So these ones are gonna go popped straight in the freezer. Getting back to things, we have some thickened cream. I used a bunch of my thickened cream for that trifle, so I needed some extra. I like to try a new cheese or something different, and this week we are going with bocconcini. I don't know what I do with it. I'm gonna look it up. I'm gonna have some fun. I'm gonna taste it. It's gonna be delicious, I imagine. But the cheese at Aldi is very good and very affordable, so I'm willing to give it a shot. Now I picked up 2 of these cabanossis and cheeses. This is like an indulgent thing that I give to my kids. Yes, it would be cheaper if I bought the cabanossi and then sliced up the cheese into cubes, but for some reason, my kids don't like it as much unless it's in a little pack. So I've seen people buy like these little packs from Amazon. Maybe that's something that I'll do, because I think that would be a really easy thing to slip into a lunchbox, but I'm gonna have a look at that. Now this Nuffin, this is one of my favorite brands when it comes to, I think, their cheese and chive dip, which I did get from Woolworths because I accidentally picked up this whipped feta and pepper, but I think I'm gonna enjoy that. So I've got that dip. We're gonna pop all this into the freezer and fridge so that nothing melts further, and then we'll get on to the next bag. I think this is my last bag from Aldi. I picked up this kale slaw mix. My husband and I went out and got like this really nice Asian style rice bowl, and it was so good that we tried to have something similar last night, and I hit really well, but I didn't have any kale, so we're gonna give this salad kit a try and see if that works really well with it. rainbow medley tomatoes. These are my favorite. I love colorful tomatoes. These are perfect with eggs in the morning on like fresh bread and with some eggs and just maybe a little bit of bacon if you're feeling a little crazy. So that's something I picked up. We have some blackberries, snow peas, raspberries, blueberries. And the last thing for all of my fruit and veg, which I still have some fruit and veg left over from last week. That's what I like about Aldi, because I feel like they last pretty darn well. And I have plenty of frozen vegetables that I want to get through as well. So even though I didn't pick up as much as last week, I definitely have plenty to have. But also my Aldi hadn't restocked all their fresh fruit and vegetable when I came in today, which was a bit of a shame. So, you know, I picked up what I could, but I didn't have a lot of variety. But I also picked up this cos lettuce, because you always need lettuce between all of my burgers and sandwiches and things. That's the other cabanossi and cheese that I picked up from my eldest son. He will have that after school. And what's fast become a staple in my house are these no sugar soft drinks from Aldi, the Regal ones. The price of these is so much better than buying some of the fancy ones over in Woolworths. And I think they taste on par, if not better sometimes. So picked up the raspberry one just to shake it up. I did watermelon last week. We'll do raspberry this week. And because it's a limited run right now, that's what they say at least, I'm hoping they'll make it permanent, are these yuzu, which you guys know I'm obsessed with the yuzu. So gonna pack some of this stuff into the fridge and things, and then we will unpack the last two of my Woolworths. More things from Aldi that I picked up on those special buys, because I can't help myself. I always do it. They have this Christmas activity pad. It's got 18 activity pages, sticker sheet. We go out and do things, and sometimes it's nice for the kids to sit down and kind of just de-stress, have an activity they can do, and it's big, which means that they hopefully have plenty to do and plenty to color. And I also picked up the Christmas coloring book. It's just really easy, and I like that it's the flip up page, because I feel like I could probably rip them out better so that I can grab a couple and they can color in a couple versus having to get 2 books. So that's the last of my Aldi stuff that I picked up. Oh, I've got my 2 catalogs here. Aldi catalog and the Woolworths one. This is their fresh ideas. And what do we see on the front? A trifle. We're gonna get better at that. But to finish off some of our Woolworths stuff, I have sandwich bags. I was out of them. I needed them, so I picked some up. Also in here, I picked up these Supreme Cheese Flavor Harvest Snaps. I've never tried this flavor. I really like the pea crisps, so we're gonna give that a shot, but it's got dairy in it, so I made sure to pick up just the original ones. They are a favorite in this household. Also half price, jumbo marshmallows. I really want to try and make some marshmallows, but I've heard that homemade's not that good when it comes to Rice Krispie treats. And I like to make them on the odd occasion, especially with school holidays coming up. It's a really easy, fun activity for the boys to help me make it, and then they decorate it. So I'm gonna keep this stored away until closer to when I need to pull it out. Stuff like that, when it comes on half price, I'm always keeping watch. I only pick it up half price so that when holidays come, I've got it sorted. Now this is not half price, but this was on special. The roasted sesame Kewpie. I told you about that salad and that kale salad kit that I picked up. I want to do it with some of the sesame because that was what was on that rice bowl that I really enjoyed. So we're going to see if that works. I also have in here, actually, I'm glad I'm doing this now because these need to go in the fridge. Flora thickened plant cream. You know that I bought it full price the other day. It was a good price off, so I picked up 2 of them, and this should hopefully do me till the end of the year. I say that tentatively. You never know with New Year's cooking. Now this is the Whittaker's Creamy Milk Chocolate. It was, I think, 20% off. Not that I would usually pick this up, but my siblings are going over to the States to visit another sibling. Obviously I can't go, I've got a little newborn. I'm a little bit jealous, but I'm sending this over because I think Whittaker's chocolate, I think Whittaker's is better than Cadbury's. Just saying. So I picked that one up as something that I don't think she's tried before, and I'm not sure if you can get that in the States because I think it's a New Zealand brand. Now, that nuffin, chive and onion dip, we got it. So this will be something that my kids will like. I don't think that they'll particularly care for the feta and cracked pepper, but I think I will. I've already picked up some bacon, but we like the streaky bacon, and price per kilo is always the 700 gram one, 750 grams. Check, even if the other one's on sale, I always check to see my price per kilo. Oop, I need to put these into the freezer as well. fudge bars, half price Bulla. I'm actually gonna put them straight into the freezer, but this will be a nice treat for the boys every so often. Are these fruit blocks? These were like 20–30% off. They're supposed to be like Legos. Lego, I think it's Lego. It's supposed to be like Lego that you can use to create little things. I don't think you get a heap in them, but my sons have been begging. I think one of them had a kit one of their friends had, and so he's been saying anytime you see it, I saw these, saw that they were a good price, so you know, nice and natural. We're gonna give these a shot and see how the boys like them. In this last bag, I have picked up the Pringles 2 barbecue ones because they're my husband's favorite, and when they're half price, I will pick up 2 for him. I also picked up some soy milk, a staple here in my house. My husband only drinks soy milk, and this soy milk from Woolworths is his favorite. None of the fresh ones, he says, are as nice or as close to milk as the soy milk ones. So I don't know how true that is, but I think Bon Soy he really enjoys too, but we don't enjoy the price of that all the time. Now these final two things I picked up from Woolworths were half price, and I feel like I've never seen them half price. I could be very wrong. I might not pay attention to them, but this is the Uncle Toby's Oat Crisp. So I picked up this honey and macadamia nut because that sounds delicious, and just the normal oat flakes. I grew up with this, and I feel like I had this all the time, and I really enjoyed it, but I never get them anymore because I've never seen them half price. So I've picked up a box of the big ones, the oat flakes, and then the small honey macadamia to see how we enjoy it. I think they'll be really nice with some of the fresh yogurt that I made and things, but this is the last of it. I'm gonna pack this away, and then we will go through how much everything cost. Thanks so much for watching, guys. I'll put up on the screen as usual how much I spent at Aldi, how much I spent at Woolworths. We have a $300 budget for 5 of us that I feel like I've been doing pretty good in keeping in budget, but December's coming, so we'll see how well we do. I'm hoping to end the year in a high, but I really appreciate you watching it. Make sure you're subscribed. I come out with grocery hauls all the time, and I do a lot of cooking based on what I buy from the store. In my next video or one of the future videos, I will go through that brownie comparison to see taste and pricing for everything and just how easy it is. And if that's something you're interested in, make sure that you've got that notification button on so that you can get notified when it comes live. But otherwise, guys, really appreciate it. Make sure to drop a comment below. I'd love to know if you're finding any great deals, especially with Black Friday happening now. What's the amazing thing that the supermarket's done for you? I don't feel like anything has stood out to me just yet, but there's still next week. Otherwise, I really appreciate it, and I will see you guys on the next one. Bye.